So what if that A13 Bionic came in a different flavor for the iPhone SE? As yes, the new iPhone SE seems powerful on paper, but it might not be as powerful as we thought. LG finally set a launch date for their upcoming G9 successor, the Velvet, and Xiaomi will apparently give us a phone with an 150 megapixel sensor by the end of this year. I'm Jaime Rivera, and please don't judge me for not knowing what day it is. What's important is that we're all at home, locked in. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals, and yes, we're gonna bore your ear off with those Apple deals that a lot of people still ask for. Right now, the Apple Watch Series 5 is currently $100 off, which means that you can get the 44mm variant for $429 shipped. If you're looking for a mid-ranger, the Moto G7 Power is $70 off, which leaves it at $180 shipped. And finally, the Marshall Kilburn 2 speaker, which I personally use, is $80 off, leaving it at $220. Yeah, I do recommend the watch. I'm not sure about the G7, but I do recommend the speaker too. You can learn more about everything in the description. Now, if you remember yesterday, we covered the little issue that's been emerging on OnePlus 8 Pro units at 120 Hz, that green tint problem, which is funny, I say certain because the phone's not out in the market yet, so it's clearly certain user forums that already have the unit, like we do. Now, OnePlus addressed it and said that they are working on a software update, but more users are reporting more issues. According to a report, these issues are tied to specifically the fact that these are OLED displays, but there is no clear answer as to why it's happening. We'll keep you posted as to the timeline or whatever. The thing about it is today, a couple of hours ago, we already got a second well, this would be pretty much the third software update that I get on this phone since I received the review unit. And well, I wasn't having any green tint issues, so I can't report that it fixed anything, but probably it did. We'll keep you posted. Now let's move the spotlight over to all the efforts that companies are doing to confront COVID-19, particularly when it comes to tracing. For those of you that don't know, I highly recommend you watch a Vox video over how it was attacked in Korea, how the Korean government used applications to be able to map people that were already sick and help other consumers have these tools in order to know which neighborhoods not to go to. Right now, Apple is joining Google in creating a contact tracing system pretty much the same as what we saw in Korea that will help curb the spread of the coronavirus. They'll do it by releasing a cross-platform API to let developers build these contact tracing applications, and their goal is to release it on the 28th. Now, due to feedback, Apple and Google will be making some changes to it focused on stronger privacy protections and accuracy. It would be called the Exposure Notification System, with the intention of notifying a person of potential exposure through encrypted data, augmenting broader contact tracing efforts, and obviously what public health authorities have been requesting. Hopefully this helps. I'm just shocked that we've got so much technology in the United States and Korea already had this, and why is the US so late to this? And speaking of Korea, let's talk about the major Korean company, which is Samsung, and the company's efforts. I mean, they pretty much posted that they will be releasing a 600 megapixel camera at some point that could do a better job than the human eye. I'd like to see that, pun intended. But we also know that Xiaomi uses Samsung's camera sensors, and Ice Universe just posted on Weibo that Samsung is working on an 150 megapixel sensor that will be released this year, which will most likely come to the first Xiaomi phone that we saw with the 108 megapixel sensor. It's not exactly clear which this device will be, but apparently it'll happen on Q4, so long as things remain the way they, oh my god, they're not, but you get the point. And we've been covering a ton of rumors of the LG Velvet, and for crying out loud, can somebody tell me why the name Velvet? Some of you have been defending it. I don't, because the last time I heard it was on Q and the Joke.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
Right, exactly. The thing about it is LG just put out a teaser letting us know that the phone will be announced on May 7th through an online event. The video focused on the new design language, showing off the new raindrop camera. We also have some new leaked specifications aside from the Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G. It'll bring a 48 megapixel camera sensor from Samsung, an 8 megapixel wide angle, and a 5 megapixel depth sensor, as well as a 16 megapixel selfie camera. It will also have a 4300 mAh battery, IP68 rating, and a price tag would be around $650, which makes me wonder, would you be willing to pay $650 for anything that's not a Snapdragon 865 at a time when you've got the iPhone SE? But yes, finally, the hot news today have to do with that iPhone SE that already showed up in doorsteps. Our own Joshua Vergara already has our review unit. Expect our coverage soon. We already posted on Instagram, and I actually posted my first editorial in years where I discuss why I feel the iPhone SE is so disruptive, why I feel this phone is killing the mid-ranger as we know it. But here's the thing. One of the major premises of my article is the fact that you've got a flagship processor and specifications on a 2017 flagship, I guess. But, well, here's the thing. The phone naturally just passed some Antutu benchmarks, and it actually got an underwhelming score. The A13 on the SE got a 492K score, which is way off the 521K on the 11 Pro. This sparks off some rumors that the iPhone SE might bring an underclocked variant of the A13 Bionic, which kind of makes sense. I mean, this could also be other circumstances, like the fact that it has less RAM, and we also don't know under what circumstances was a test. The thing about it is, let us know in the comments down below, would you be underwhelmed in any way, or does it affect your buying decision if the iPhone SE is underclocked when compared to the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pro Max and the 11? Because in my case, here's the thing, the processor controls a lot more than just, benchmark scores and CPU scores and power. It also controls the ISP that determines the quality of the camera, and it also controls a ton of other things that are important that we actually rely on, and we're getting that level of power on a mid-range phone. So in my case, I'm not underwhelmed, but definitely would love to know what you think in the comments down below, and also let us know what you think in the editorial that we wrote recently. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on PocketNow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also follow us on social media as our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me stay at home with you. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll have a recap. You can count on that.